She blamed all her woes and misfortune on her twin sister Awero and vouched to make her life miserable. Picture a village in a tranquil environment with a flourishing land and harmony among the villagers. Here, the strength and bond of sisterhood faces a great challenge. Would one bend to the will of the other? Or will they stand tall against themselves until they emerge as a hero? In the darkest hour of a Saturday night in Lanlate Kingdom, the home of Papa and Mama Orosakin welcomed the shrill cries of two beautiful girls, a set of twins. Their father was a successful gold merchant and had his fame for trading far and wide. He named his newborn twins Awero and Asake. As usual, each child grew up with a great physical difference, even though they ate the same meal at the same time. However, the twin named Awero looked too skinny and tall, while Asake looked curvy. As they grew older, Awero became the object of mockery among the villagers because of her figure. She was called several horrible names like skeleton, Eja Bigbe, which means thin fish, and she would often cry back home where their parents did their best to comfort her. Even her twin sister, Asake, would chip in some words of encouragement to brighten her mood. No one wanted to be Awero's friend in the village. Even social groups rejected her. The ones who accepted her used every opportunity they got to humiliate and laugh at Awero till she got tired and fed up and stopped attending those gatherings herself. Asake, her twin sister, on the other hand, had so many friends and was a member of various social groups in the village. The only thing that kept Awero's sanity in check amidst the madness was her cooking skills. She was so good to the point that any time she prepared meals for her family, they ended up leaving the bowls empty and showering her in praises for a job well done. Her home was indeed a safe and tranquil environment for her. But any time she stepped outside of the house, the wolves in form of villagers were always there to ridicule her for being skinny, especially when she was accompanied by her twin sister to the market. The level of whispers, comparison, and gossip increased and was supported by stares. One afternoon, the twins went to the market to purchase some food ingredients, and a fish seller decided to pass a snide remark. Asake, why did you suck Awero's blood? She asked while she giggled hard and was joined by every other person in the market with laughter. Another person added that she should watch out for the strong wind that was going to blow so she wouldn't lose her balance. This made her sad and dejected, but her twin sister Asake made sure that those remarks didn't go unanswered. She defended her sister angrily, calling them bitter fools. Awero was happy her sister had her back, and Asake made sure to always stand up against the mean bullies for her sister. All these changed one day when Asake's boyfriend, Aremu, came to visit. Aremu is the son of a famous cocoa farmer and has been in a love relationship with Asake for the past 2 years. That fateful day, he came to inform her that they wouldn't continue with their marriage procession because his family was not in support of their union. Asake pleaded to know the reason behind this decision in tears, and Aremu told her that the family was afraid that the skinny genes from his twin sister might manifest in their children if they got married. This was a shock. Asake could not believe as her world came crashing down. Immediately, resentment began to grow within her towards her sister. While she was still in pain and crying herself to sleep every night, she was sent out from all her social groups because they detested the way she stood up for her skinny twin sister. She blamed all her woes and misfortune on her twin sister Awero and vouched to make her life miserable. One day, Awero cooked her delicious meal for the house like she always did. But, with a devious plan, Asake came into the kitchen and poured sand into the pot of food her sister made. Awero saw this and screamed at her sister, asking her why she did such a terrible thing. But Asake told her to keep her mouth shut and called her a skinny witch. Unlike before, when Asake stood up for her sister, she became the worst nightmare that Awero had ever lived, even down to the point of calling her the horrible names she fought against in public. Every day brought in more woes, humiliation, and disgrace from both sisters and the entire village. A time came when the twins' village, Lanlate, and two other neighboring villages, Boripe and Mojere, were preparing for a once-in-a-decade contest called the Queen Maiden Competition. And each village had to provide three of their most capable, competitive, and all-round beautiful maidens to represent the kingdom. The villagers of the Lanlate kingdom started projecting who would represent them, and some even made Awero a point of mockery as they mentioned her name. One of the villages was going to host a competition since Lanlate hosted the previous competition. One beautiful afternoon, Awero went to fetch water at the village stream where she met Adio, one of the organizers of the Queen Maiden competition. Oblivious to who he was, Adio was thrilled by her stature and even complimented her. She was really confused and decided to brush it off as sarcasm, but Adio didn't seem to be sarcastic. He informed her that he was heading to her village to get the names of the three maidens to represent them in the competition, even remarking that her name would be on the list because of her physique. But Awero made him understand that aside from her parents, he was the next person to compliment her, and no villager would dare put down her name because of their resentment towards her. However, Adio encouraged her to attend the ceremony, even if she was not selected, and to dress well. On the D-Day of the competition, the villagers from Lanlate and Mojere assembled in Boripe, the host village of the competition, including Awero and her family. Everyone looked elegant. Before they began the competition, the organizers asked the representatives to step out. He also announced that the king had a slot to select one more person to participate in with the other 9 ladies for the position of the Queen Maiden. Everyone was eager to know who the king would select, and alas, Awero's name was mentioned in the king's selection. Everybody, including Asake, was shocked and kept wondering what someone as skinny as she could do to compete against her opponent. Her parents, on the other hand, cheered her on as she elegantly walked to join the remaining contestants. The first competition was a cooking competition, and only 5 contestants scaled to the next level, including Awero because of her great cooking skill. Moving on to the next level of the competition, they had to retrieve a treasure in the forest, and for them to get there, they had to pass through the river, which seemed like an obstacle. But because of Awero's physique, she could swim faster across the river and get to the forest in no time. Followed behind by Jibike, one of the other contestants, Awero spotted a shiny blue treasure first and spoke out loud that she had seen it. Jibike heard her and ran ahead of her to get it for herself. It became a sprint race, but unfortunately, Awero lost her balance due to her clothes being caught in a branch and she fell. Jibika took the treasure for herself, got to the riverbank, and informed other contestants that she had found it. The others believed that they had lost. While Awero tried regaining her stance by standing up, she found out that the treasure Jibika took along with her was fake because she saw a replica of that same treasure and found out it was just a distraction. She searched and searched for the real treasure, found it up on a tree, and took it back to the palace. Jibika and the entire village were surprised to see the same treasure that was shown to them in the hands of the skinny girl Awero. She was crowned the Queen Maiden and given lots of gifts. Her parents were happy, and of course, the villagers decided to shower her with fake compassion. Asake felt too much guilt and decided to leave the house as she could not face her twin sister after the terrible things she had done. But, with a kind heart, Awero reminded her that nothing could separate them as long as they shared the same womb and came into the world together. This indeed was a test of the bond of sisterhood, and that no matter what the situation might be, there would always be beauty in difference and uniqueness. Do you think Asake would have been as forgiving as Awero? Or would Awero have hated herself more if she had lost the competition? Share your thoughts with us in the comments, and stay tuned to enjoy more interesting tales. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more inspirational stories with an underlying moral lesson. Like this video if you will take this moral lesson with you through your life. See you next time!